How successful are you being in moving towards a goal or an outcome that you really want? In last week's session, we focused on outcome thinking, and we looked at some of the things that make a difference in how you set your goals, how you manage your goals, and how you ensure that your ultimate achievement of those goals. Now, as we well know, sometimes we're very successful with that and sometimes we're less successful. So today, I'm introducing for you one of the NLP Meta program tools, which is about towards and away from thinking. And this is very much about where we get our motivation from to achieve what we want. So if you have something important to you right now and you're lacking some motivation, then this is exactly the tool that you need. So let's go on. So I'm going to explain this model with a very simple life example, something that has perhaps applied to many of us at different times in our life. And that's about losing weight. So many of us may have found ourselves in a situation where our weight has gone up and down at different times. And we're familiar with that moment in time, that day, when we might be getting ready to go out, putting on a nice pair of jeans that we really like a lot. And as we try to put them on, we think, it doesn't fit properly, they're too tight, I can't possibly go out in these. And we immediately feel bad, disappointed, yeah? But because we feel bad, we then think, okay, I'm not having this. I've been here before and I'm not doing it again. I'm absolutely going to do what it takes and I am really going to lose weight this time. So maybe we join a gym, maybe we take a class, maybe we go to a nutrition course. We learn, we do, we act to try to lose the weight. And as we do that, we're somehow moving away from that pain of the jeans not fitting so well. And the further away from it we get, the closer we get to actually this feels pretty good. The jeans now fit well, and actually I feel quite good. This is fine. I now no longer need to do so much of what I was doing before. I could go to the gym just once a week. I mean, an occasional Aperol spritz that I love won't really make any difference. Or that extra chocolate biscuit. I mean, it's only one. What difference will it make? And time passes, and someday, one day, we put those jeans back on, and horror of horrors, they don't fit anymore. We're back to where we were. So what is happening? Why can we not stay motivated with that for the longer term? So let's have a look at what we can see here. So what I just described is what we call moving away from energy. It means there's a pain of some kind, something you don't want, something you don't like, and you don't like it enough that you're prepared to do things that you're not so enjoyable for you in order to achieve a move away from that. So that's the jeans, go to the gym, eat better, and we see progress. The problem is, the further away we get from that moment, that present moment when things were not okay, the more we no longer feel as motivated as before. We think it doesn't matter so much, and we can easily find ourselves slipping back. Now, the opposite of this is to have a desired state. Now, when we spoke about outcome thinking last week, we talked a lot about how you set your outcome in a positive way, using sensory language, ensuring it's in your control, thinking about the greater context or possible secondary gains that exist that could sabotage your movement towards your goal. Now, if those things don't sound familiar to you, then I really encourage you to look at last week's video about outcome thinking, as that gives you all the basics that then lead you to this. So, having a clear, positive view of where you want to go, knowing what you do want, would be the difference between acting because I'm unhappy with this situation and acting because I want that. Yeah? Now, does that mean that if all I focus on is, so I want to be this weight and this dress size by a certain time, that's enough? Yeah? Will that do the job? Well, those of you who have been in this up and down situation, as I have also in the past, we'll know that no, that's not enough. Something else is missing. So what is it? So this desired state is something, something greater. So something that gives us a longer term value. So instead of focusing on losing weight, we might focus on how to be healthy for the longer term of our life. We might see that as how to be a good role model, perhaps for our kids, so that they will grow up taking care of themselves, being attentive to their nutrition, what they eat and the exercise. Not never having things they love, of course having that too, but there's some sensible balance in that situation for them. Maybe we're concerned that we're getting older and we don't want to find ourselves not able to move properly, feeling that we're bent over, we can't walk so easily, we can't pick things up so easily. This is not how we want to live in our older age. So these are more long-term goals. They give us a bigger drive, something more important to work towards. Now, does that mean that if we set that goal, that we will then think, okay, so I'll join the gym and I'll take some nutrition and I'll think about what I'm eating and doing, and will that get us there? Well, the thing is, where you start from, you're really close to. And the moving away is the motivation that gets us going. But once we've got going, we need something more to keep us going. And therefore, what we really want on a larger scale is what keeps us going for the long term. So even though we've said how it's important that your goals are positive, this part, it doesn't mean that this is not useful. This is also very helpful. And the fact is, for many of us, we have a preference here. So some of us tend to act more in away from thinking, and some of us tend to act more in towards thinking. So the pain of away from gets the initial motivation. But the focus of something that's really appealing for the longer term is what keeps us going, that long-term staying power. Both are valuable. So what I'm going to ask you to do is, first of all, to reflect a little bit on the things you have achieved or maybe not achieved so consistently, and ask yourself, which energy was in play? Were you moving away from pain, or were you moving towards a focus? And that means you know which one is not strong enough for you, and therefore which to focus on more. Some of us need a good kick to get going, and some of us need that longer term staying power. So both are things that you need to think about. So once you explore this, I encourage you to think about the goals you want at the moment and how you're going to apply this more. And remember, looking back on last week's video will also help you to get more of the foundations that are necessary to be really effective in setting your goals. So thank you so much for being here with me today. As always, do not hesitate to share this with anyone else who you think would benefit from it. And you can of course continue to follow us on YouTube, Facebook and LinkedIn. So, see you soon. Bye for now.